Hello there. Today we're going to make a delicious and very healthy side dish that you can use with some of your end of summer cookouts and anytime during the winter to really give you a lot of nutrition. So it's delicious, it's helpful. Here's what it is: cannellini beans and greens. Okay, we're going to start with a cup of cannellini beans. Now these are already cooked. These are from the can, but you can also cook the dry beans yourself. Just do that ahead of time. The reason this dish is all about cannellini beans is because these are scientifically proven to reduce your blood pressure, help regulate your blood sugar, they lower cholesterol, and I've even read that they're able to help remove plaque from your veins and arteries. So these are super food. Soup, a red onion, some fresh garlic, we're going to mince that up here, some celery and carrot. I'm going to use a handful of grape tomatoes and a little cilantro for garnish. But one of the other stars of the show here is escarole. And why do we use a dark green vegetable like this? Because it's loaded with vitamins and minerals. Escarole is a dark green, and that usually means it's a little on the bitter side. The bitter greens are very good for your liver. It helps to detoxify the body, it helps to metabolize food, and being part of liver support, it helps to keep you calm. So if you find yourself in situations where you're a little wound up sometimes, get excited about traffic, maybe you find yourself getting a little nervous about some things, this is a great way to settle your body down by giving your liver some support. So that's why we're using this as part of this recipe. Now it's very easy. I do it in one pot on the stove real quick. I don't do a lot of steps. I just start out with a little avocado oil in the bottom of the pan. Right, now that avocado oil can be used at a high temperature of heat. We're not going to raise the temperature too high here, but it's a nice oil to cook with. Alright, to that we're going to add a cup of cannellini beans. Step by step here, we have some celery. We're going to chop that up pretty fine because we're going to cook it rather quickly. Scoop up those celery slices and get them right in the pot. Now let's go with the carrot. I don't usually peel the carrots if they're nice. I scrub them, make them nice and clean, cut off the ends. And then in order to make the carrot so that it cooks quickly, I'm just going to cut it in half first. Lay the flat side down on the cutting board. Well, I kind of cut on a little bit of an angle. It's real quick because we want this to cook quickly and be nice and tender. Now all this cooking we're going to do without the escarole. The escarole waits till the end because we just really want to wilt it so that it's not overcooked and mushy. A little bit crunch is fine in this recipe. That's why we're using carrots and celery. Now we have some garlic. I'm just going to slice that real thin. Spread that around. Let's get this nice, flavorful, juicy red onion. Look at the onion juices. It's such a nice fresh one. This time of year, the harvest makes everything better. Everything's fresh. And here Nothing fancy. I'm just going to cut quick chunks. Okay, we'll break those apart a little bit as we put them into the pan. So we have lots of little rings. Alright, now we're going to take this mixture and get it on the stove, start cooking it. In the meantime, I'm going to wash up the escarole real good and cut that up, and I'll cut the cherry tomatoes too, because we don't need to cook them quite as long as all the carrots and celery, etc. So let's get this cooking, and I'll be right back. Break off a piece of the escarole leaves. Probably, if you have a beautiful big head like this, you can use something like, I'll use these 2 handfuls. It's going to be about half of this head. Now some of the heads of escarole that you run into in the store are going to be only this size, then you can use the whole head. But I got lucky here finding a great big head of escarole. I'm going to wash it up real good. Alright, I started the vegetable sauteing here with the avocado oil. Just going to stir them around a little until the onions get a little translucent, of course, and the carrots get a little tender. And separate these onion rings as they start to cook. We're going to let that saute while we get the escarole ready. Okay, now I'm going to cut off the bottom parts right here because they're probably a little bit sandy or not exactly appetizing. So all we have is nice fresh greens here. Now you can see this is cooking nicely, just about done. You can deglaze the pan with about a 1/4 cup of water, and that will also give you a little sauce to go over the escarole and coat it nicely. So it's very thick because of the beans. Look how nice. Okay, now it's time to start adding the escarole. There we go, all the nice shreds. Now we don't want to have this in the cooking time for very long. I'll add the tomatoes as well. Alright, now stir them in. Stir all that in. Turn off the heat of the stove. And as soon as it's mixed, that's about enough time to wilt the escarole. Okay, and we'll take it right off the heat and let it finish in the hot pan. Now we do want to quickly get that into a serving bowl so that it doesn't continue to cook in this pan. Alright, now we have a nice side dish that we can garnish with the cilantro, and we can serve this nice side dish with your meal or eat it as a meal. And you can be sure of one thing, it'll help support your liver and other parts of your body as well. Hope you like this recipe. Hope you get to try it. It's also delicious. Thanks for watching.